You're watching Entertainment on Arise Newsnight. I'm Kachi Ofia. Let's begin with the biggest story today. Alec Baldwin, the American actor, will be charged with involuntary manslaughter. This is over the shooting of a crew member on a set in October 2021. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins, a mother of one, was killed during rehearsals in the U.S. state of New Mexico when Baldwin fired a prop gun loaded with ammunition. Another crew member, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who was in charge of ammunition, has also been charged. Well, neither has commented on the charges so far. Now, Rachel Fissett is an LA, that's Los Angeles-based criminal defense attorney and legal expert. And as opinions continue to flow with regards to this particular subject, especially off the premise that Alec Baldwin had been told that he may not be charged. Well, now she's saying she's a bit surprised at Alec Baldwin's charges. Take a look.
I'm a bit surprised. I think that I would have charged it another way, or I was guessing they might charge it another way if they were to charge. What has happened is there are two ways that you could look at this case. One is as an overall workplace safety issue, where you then put the liability on the people in charge of workplace safety who knew that there were various incidents on the set that could rise to a serious injury or death. And the other, which is the way it was charged, is focusing exactly on the incident and the people involved in the exact incident at that exact time. My guess is that Alec Baldwin really wants to clear his name and believes that he has a good defense, relying upon the representation that the gun was unloaded. And I do see a trial in the future. As to Alec Baldwin's charge, they are admitting that there was no intent. So that's the involuntary part of involuntary manslaughter. And so there are not many crimes that you can commit where you don't have intent, but involuntary manslaughter is one where the prosecution doesn't have the burden of showing there's intent to harm or intent to kill. So they are not in any way claiming that he was intentionally fired the gun knowing there was a live bullet. But what they are claiming is he did not act reasonably. He acted consciously disregarding the fact that firing a weapon could cause death. And he did not take the precautions necessary prior to firing the weapon. And I think that's where the prosecution's case is going to lie. I think that Alec Baldwin will point to the armorer. He will obviously point to David Halls, who said, "Here is a cold gun." And so that is going to be a huge basis of his defense, is that he was told he had a cold gun when it was handed to him by the assistant director in charge of safety on set. So that is going to be a huge part of his defense. As to Ms. Gutierrez, she was in charge of weapons on the set and making sure that the guns were safe on the set. But I think because she is so young and because her boss was Dave Halls, she is going to say, well, I handed it to him and then it was his job. And when I put in the rounds, they were dummy rounds and I made sure, and something happened in the meantime that there was a live round on the set. So I think both individuals are going to point to Dave Halls as perhaps the reason this happened. And that might be the reason he pled out fairly quickly.
So everybody's essentially could just try to pass the buck to somebody else.
That is what's going to happen. The celebrity issue probably came into play in that perhaps the DA was rubbed the wrong way during plea negotiations because he was a celebrity, because he wasn't taking responsibility for what was going on. I think something has probably gone sideways between the defendants and the DA. I would guess they've been negotiating about charges for several months. The now defendants trying to get those charges dismissed. And perhaps those negotiations they obviously didn't work, but perhaps they went a bit sideways, resulting in these pretty severe charges for a major celebrity.
Now, there is a line from Fireboy DML and Ashak has hit single Bandana that perfectly explains the situation, where it says, he never saw it coming. Alec Baldwin definitely did not see this situation coming to hit him in the face anytime soon, especially because there was literally zero intent for this to happen. In an interview with CNN, he clearly stated that he did not pull the trigger, which of course is why criminal negligence is the crux of the involuntary manslaughter charge that he's about to be faced with. But let's move right on to what's going on at the Sundance Film Festival. Nigerian filmmaker Funa Maduka is definitely one of the 16 jurors granting awards at this year's Sundance Film Festival. It's kicked off already, and she is already distinguished as one of the 3 jury members of the World Cinema Dramatic Competition. Alongside is Shozo Ishiyama and Anna-Marie Jessir. Now, Funa Maduka is an award-winning filmmaker, the former head of international original films at Netflix, where she worked with the world's top global and emerging filmmakers. It's okay. Meanwhile, though, while we're still excited that Sundance Film Festival is back, because if we're being honest, this festival just opened, delivering the first in-person event in 3 years due to the pandemic. So definitely there was cause to celebrate and a lot to laugh at as well. So Dakota Johnson had one job at the film festival. This was to present one of 4 awards doled out from the main stage. Now, Dakota Johnson practically just turned attention to Guadagnino's critically acclaimed love story. You know, it's the Sundance selection, Call Me By Your Name. It has Timothée Chalamet and the very controversial Armie Hammer. Of course, she touched on the cannibalism conversation that was delved into in the docuseries House of Hammer. Take a look.
It was here at Sundance in 2017 that audiences experienced a film that is uniquely characterized by Luca's iconic approach to storytelling, the vision and the style that is Call Me By Your Name. Sadly, I wasn't in that one. It was unfortunate. Luca had asked me to play the role of the peach, but our schedules conflicted. And thank God, though, because then I would have been another woman that Armie Hammer had tried to eat. It's been 5 years since that film premiered here, and Luca hasn't stopped taking us to exciting places.
Well, let's talk about the BAFTAs, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. That is, of course, the United Kingdom's equivalent to the Academy. Now, it has upended the Oscars race in a huge way, with major snubs and surprises amongst the full list of 2023 BAFTA nominations. Now, Netflix's historical war drama, All Quiet on the Western Front, director, of course, Edward Berger's adaptation of the 1929 novel, previously adapted for the screen in 1930. It stormed the nomination list with a leading 14 nods across all categories. This includes Best Film, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor as well. And trailing just behind the film are award mainstays such as Everything Everywhere All at Once. Michelle Yeoh picked up a nod for that film. The Banshees of Inisherin, both of which scored 10 nominations each. And now Paramount Pictures has released the official trailer for Scream 6, which features Ghostface on the prowl in New York City, bringing back Hayden Panettiere's character from Scream 4. Everyone's talking about this new trailer because it was literally barely a year ago that we saw Scream 5. So everyone's now asking, do we need another Scream movie? Well, I'm going to let you answer that. Do we need another Scream movie? For me, that's entertainment today on Arise News Night. I'm Kachi Ofia. But before I leave you, Aja Bhatta is out with a new single. He's returning with his new album, which just delivers great vibes for the weekend. It is called Soundtrack to the Good Life, and it's a great way to get your weekend started. So thank you for watching, and of course, this is Arise Newsnight.
All she wanna do is to jackpot, all because of Sakpa. Get that visa and ghost, get that visa and ghost. Get you know you back from me, Baja.